He's a gaming champ, a martial arts master, and just your average chicken delivery guy, until one heroic act throws him into a world of criminals, ankle monitors, and high-stakes takedowns. Meet Lee Yong-do, the unexpected hero who turns street justice into an art form. This isn't just another action movie. This is the rise of a real-life superhero in sneakers. Lee Yong-do kicks off his day with a burst of energy, launching straight into his morning workout the moment he wakes up. He drops to the floor and begins doing push-ups like it's second nature. This guy absolutely lives for sports and video games, and it's no wonder, because he always comes out on top. Next, we see him in a Taekwondo class, squaring off against a black belt. Yong-do doesn't break a sweat. His moves are precise, sharp, and totally effortless. Then it's off to a kendo match, where he dominates his opponent while pulling funny faces, just to add a little flair to the competition. Later in judo class, Yong-do observes his rival carefully, anticipating each move with sharp focus. He outmaneuvers him and snags another win. Still, he's a good sport. He helps his opponent up and tells him he did great. After that, it's gaming time with his friends, where he wipes out other players like a pro, impressing everyone with his killer reflexes. Just as they wrap up the session, he gets a phone call and steps away. Cut to his dad in the kitchen, whipping up his famous mighty chicken, a specialty from the family's food chain. Yong-do grabs the order and sets off to deliver it on his trusty bicycle. He pedals around town, dropping off meals door to door until sunset. On the way back, his friends keep messaging him to hurry up. They're itching for another round of games. While cycling, Yong-do hears a strange noise that piques his curiosity. He stops to check it out. What he stumbles upon is a full-blown fight. A man is being beaten badly, and Yong-do watches closely, intrigued. It looks like one of the men is under arrest, while the other one, likely an officer, is trying to subdue him. Eventually, the officer warns the suspect to cooperate and get moving, but just when things seem to calm down, it escalates. The man being arrested spots a broken soju bottle, grabs a shard, and stabs the officer. That's when Yong-do jumps in. He shouts at the attacker to stop, but the man turns on him instead. Big mistake. Yong-do's lightning-fast reflexes kick in, literally. He launches a powerful kick to the guy's back, throwing him off balance. The fight ramps up, but Yong-do's skills are way beyond what the criminal can handle. With smooth moves and sheer strength, he brings the guy down and restrains him. He then helps the injured officer back to his feet. Word spreads quickly about the incident, and soon Yong-do is awarded the Outstanding Citizen Award by the police. It doesn't go unnoticed that Yong-do is built like a tank, tall and muscular. This catches the eye of the probation office director, who requests a meeting with him. During their conversation, the director explains that across the country, there are about 5,000 former inmates under 24/7 watch via electronic ankle monitors. These are people with violent pasts, assault, homicide, you name it. The office keeps tabs on them through these devices, and when something goes wrong, officers have to jump in. But here's the issue. Not all of them are physically up for the challenge. So each officer is paired with a younger, stronger partner called a martial arts officer. The man Yong-do saved earlier, it turns out, is Supervisor Cho, one of these martial arts officers. The director then asks about Yong-do's background. Yong-do explains he helps run his dad's chicken shop and practices martial arts as a hobby. He casually mentions he's a third dan in Taekwondo, Kendo, and Judo. The director is stunned and straight up asks if Yong-do could fill in for Cho for 5 weeks. The current officers are overworked, and having Yong-do on board would be a game changer. Yong-do hesitates, unsure if he's really cut out for it, but the director assures him that he's more than qualified. For Yong-do, the biggest factor is whether the job will be something he enjoys. The director tells him that it's not only fulfilling, but also kind of fun. Later, over food, Yong-do brings it up with his friends, who are totally on board. He also checks with his dad, who gives him his full support. So, Yong-do decides to go for it. He joins the probation office and is introduced to the team. Senior Officer Dong Wan gives him a rundown of how things work. There's a monitoring system that tracks the ankle monitors, showing crimes committed and the battery status. A yellow indicator means the battery is low, and if the offender doesn't respond to calls, officers must act fast. Yongdu notices one of the monitors running low and calls the man, who rudely hangs up. Twice. It's go time. He gears up, taser included, and heads out with the director. Yongdu predicts the criminal will try to escape through the window and positions himself perfectly. Sure enough, the guy jumps, only to be met midair by a swift kick to the groin and a taser zap for good measure. Arrest secured. Next, they respond to a man trying to enter a restricted area near a children's zone. Yongdu almost beats the guy into the pavement, but the director steps in to cool things down. After the arrest, the director offers to treat Yongdu to dinner. Yongdu invites him to join his friends instead. At dinner, we meet the crew, Writer K, Moisture, and Earthworm. Moisture's nickname comes from his perpetually wet nose. And Earthworm? He squirms when he's stepped on. Moisture orders an insane amount of food, and we learn that Yongdu doesn't drink. The conversation shifts to Sumin, who explains why he became a probation officer. As a kid, he was in a terrible car accident. Trapped and scared, he was saved by police officers who tore open the car to rescue everyone. That experience stuck with him. He wanted to become an officer too, but an injury to his leg prevented him from chasing criminals. Becoming a probation officer allowed him to fulfill that dream another way. His mission? Protect kids. Suddenly, an urgent case pops up in Seorendong. Since Sumin and Yongdu are close by, they head there with the gang. The suspect has cut off his ankle monitor, and drone footage helps them track him down. Yongdu takes him down easily, but the guy threatens to end his own life. Yongdu calmly repeats Sumin's guidance, talking him down until he surrenders. The next day, they get another lead on suspicious activity and follow it to Yongdu's aunt's shop. There's a scuffle between the aunt and a man, but Yongdu jumps in and knocks the guy out cold with a chokehold. After calming his aunt down, he realizes he wants to do this job for real. Sumin is thrilled. Their next mission is monitoring Kang Ki-yong, a known repeat offender. They fit him with a monitor and explain the rules, but Yongdu notices hardened calluses on the guy's knuckles. Something seems off. That night, Ki-yong meets with Byeon, who reveals that ankle monitors aren't foolproof. There's a 10-meter gray zone, and the system can't track what floor someone's on. The next day, Yongdu sees suspicious activity on Ki-yong's tracker. Despite calling, Ki-yong doesn't pick up, so Yongdu checks the building himself. They confirm he's in a kimbap shop, but something doesn't add up. There are plenty of those near his place. Later, Supervisor Cho returns to the office, fully recovered, and brings Yongdu a pair of tactical gloves as a gift. He tells Yongdu they might come in handy. Meanwhile, a young girl meets a stray dog and names it Wah-Wah. Her joy is short-lived when she's kidnapped. Byeon has orchestrated the crime, bringing in more assailants. Sumin investigates, and Yongdu follows Ki-yong, but Ki-yong locks him out. Soon, Cho and Sumin hear a woman scream and rush in. Yongdu fights a gang on his own, throwing everything he can get his hands on. Cho and Sumin are overwhelmed. Sumin is choked with a bat and beaten, while Cho fights heroically, but is eventually struck in the head. As chaos unfolds, Yongdu breaks into the building, saves the girl, and fights Ki-yong, but he's stabbed in the process. Ki-yong escapes. At the hospital, Yongdu learns that Sumin suffered a neck injury, but will recover. Tragically, Cho is declared brain dead. He had agreed to donate his organs, leaving Yongdu devastated. Yongdu receives a bravery award and a heartfelt letter from the little girl, who now fears leaving her house. With new resolve, Yongdu and his friends make a plan. Using Moisture's brother's tech, they track down the suspicious car's license plate and break into the owner's apartment. There, they find a trove of illegal content and clues to Ki-yong's whereabouts. Yongdu's dad is hesitant at first, but eventually gives his blessing. Yongdu and his crew hit the streets and eventually find Ki Yong. Yongdu fights him, taking a stab wound to the arm, but with help from Moisture's drone distraction, he takes Ki Yong down and makes the arrest. He earns a medal from the president and finally meets the little girl again, safe and smiling, able to walk outside without fear. And so, the story of Lee Yong-du, the everyday hero turned martial arts officer, continues.